Dave,
Oh,
thank you for showing up to the show.
woo.
Dave, can you hear me? I said thank you for showing up to the show.
Oh, I heard you, and I want to say you're welcome. I'm so happy to be here. Guys, check us out on all social media, sixunseemly.com, all unseemly questions.
I'm so glad that we are states apart. I can just tell you that right now, Dave.
How do you know?
So let's get started with the show, shall we?
Six Unseemly Questions!
Welcome to Six Unseemly Questions. I'm your host, Victor Varnado. This is my sidekick, Dave Rosinsky. We've got a great contestant on the show today. Please put your hands together for Jeffrey Kornberg. Come on up, Jeffrey. Thank you for coming out to the show.
Welcome to the show, man.
I'm glad to be here, Dave and Victor. I'm excited.
We're also excited. We have an also fantastic studio audience. Jennifer Glick, she just showed up, and Tim White. All right, great. Wonderful. Thank you for being our studio audience.
Thank you guys for studio audience.
Thank
Because
you,
this is a
guys.
podcast, you can always use your voice rather than just nod if you ever want to respond. Just for later. All right, everybody. So, Jeffrey, I'm going to tell you how the show works, and then we're going to get started. I'm going to ask you 6 unseemly questions. At the end of each question, I'll ring a bell if I like your answer like this. However, if I do not like your answer, I will not ring a bell, and I'll tell you why. Regardless of how many bells you get at the end of the show, I will decide whether or not your appearance is worth giving you $5 for being on the show. As you know, that is money. Now, Jeffrey, time for question number 1. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Question number 1. Do you even like board games?
I do really like board games.
Okay.
Yes, the way they make you use your brain in different ways is something that I feel like I don't get from video games. I don't get from books or watching videos. So it's I love puzzles. Board games are just like different puzzles with cool graphics.
Have you played Chutes and Ladders?
I have played Chutes and Ladders, and that's
Have you played the Game of Life?
I have played the Game of Life, and actually, my mom's cousin invented the Game of Life.
Wow, really?
Yes.
With those little pegs?
Well,
I don't know if the version that he invented had the little pegs, but
I'm a little yellow peg. I go in the car and I drive away.
so Jeffrey, my question for you is: do you ever get like hate mail from people because you have that show where you just give the wrong rules for board games?
So yeah, some context if nobody is familiar with what I do, which I'm assuming is most people. I run a parody board game channel. So if you're going to play a board game and you don't want to read the rule book, you can go online and watch a video where someone tells you how to play. And so what I do is I'm a parody of that. So someone may look for the rules of a game, click on my video, and I make up all the rules to real games. So about a minute in,
That's awesome.
So about a minute in, someone may be like, these can't be the real rules. I use all the real pieces.
Yes.
Can I hear some of your made up? Can I hear some of your made up?
Yeah, you can go
rules?
online. You can go online, Dave. We're not gonna.
I don't have the internet
We're not
here
gonna
in Alaska.
recreate his YouTube channel.
We
on
don't
this
have the
show.
internet here in Alaska.
A quick question.
There's a
Yes,
question from the
Jason?
studio audience, Tim White. Yes.
Tim.
So not just board games, but like tabletop games too.
Yeah. So it's
So like Call of Cthulhu?
I haven't done that one, but that's in the same vein. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yes.
But yes, I do get a lot of people who are angry with me, especially on I do a lot of like designer board games, but then I also do like the kids ones. So on like Mousetrap, it's like a lot of angry parents like I wanted to play this with my kid and he just wasted 5 minutes. But like I don't know.
Oh man,
All right.
That sounds
So
awesome.
I'm gonna
that's
say
evil.
that
That
is
is truly evil.
question. It's worth the bell. It's worth the bell on your first question.
Nice, bro. You got
But
this.
Jeffrey, we're about to go to question number 2. But before we do, can you please tell people out there what you do? And we started talking about it a little bit, but you can explain more if you like.
The Dragon's Tomb is the name of my fake board game network. And so in addition to parody rules, I've also fell into this weird thing where everything I do is deadpan. So you can click it and you won't realize that I'm being like funny. And so I have marketers who reach out to me who don't realize I'm a joke, asking me to review their products. And so I now have like a reverse prank where people are reaching out to me and then they get pranked by me, where I do a review of their product in my parody style, and then they don't realize till after my video is out that I am not a serious channel who does reviews.
I just watched your review of the back massager thing, which I thought was so funny. Because obviously it was just a really terrible review. All right, Adrian. It is.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, you should. It's great. It's really funny. But it is time for question number 2. Question number 2. What's it like talking to Sesame Street puppets?
So yeah, I did. I filmed a video with Big Bird and Elmo. So when I'm not doing board game stuff, I do YouTube videos as my full-time job for a bunch of magazines. And so
I used to work with you, remember?
Yes.
We had very... I mean, we're not going to go into the details, but suffice to say, I left and I was right to leave.
And I agree with that.
Do you remember when Victor used to dress up as Big Bird just for leisurely pleasure?
I haven't experienced that.
Well,
Dave
you
is
will
perfectly
soon.
trying to
I've
the
seen
conversation. But please, you can go on with your about talking to Sesame Street characters, please.
I will say they are very professional. They're very protective. Like, you can never see the characters not alive. Like, if they are not being animated, they are hidden in a box or behind a curtain. You can only see them when they are active and alive. Even if there's just like 2 people in the room, you can't see them dead.
So are you saying Cookie Monster's always laying low until he's out of the box?
Until he's out of the box, yeah.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I will say when I was there, I think Big Bird, the actor behind Big Bird, was having a very long day.
Wow.
And so Big Bird was the trickiest one to work. Not that he was bad to work with, but I also think he wasn't a fan of the concepts he was doing. So I can't blame him.
So Big Bird was a little bit of a diva that day.
You gotta have your big heart into the Big Bird. That's what I say.
I just imagine that they got that.
Into it.
I just imagine that they got that rule where you can never see the puppets unanimated because some child was like there going, "Cookie Monster, wake up! Wake up, Cookie Monster, please, please."
Cookie.
That's my guess.
Yeah, I feel like they don't want you to
accurate.
I feel like they don't want any pictures taken, because then if there's like a picture of the count flopped over a table and I'm like, kids see that, like.
Yo, the count is so funny when he counts to 3. He's like 1, 2, 3. It's amazing. I don't know how he does it.
I am going to say no bell on that question. I'll tell you why. It was a lot of great information and stuff, but I don't think I really embodied the feeling of what it was like to talk to a Sesame Street character by your answer, although there was interesting information around it.
Very interesting information that deserved the bell, if I might say.
Thank you for saying that. It has been noted and ignored. Now, it is time for question number 3. Question number 3, how many people have eaten dinner at your home?
Tough question. Come on, Jeff, you got this.
At my current home that I live in right now, probably only 4 people.
Oh, at your current home, only
at my
4
current
people.
home, only 4 people, because I moved during coronavirus. But if you're taking all of my homes throughout my entire life into consideration,
No, we're not.
oh, okay.
What? Yeah, we can. You don't
You
make
want a
the
total
rules,
of
Dave.
all of his homes for his entire life? How can we even get that number? It's 40 years ago.
Very quickly, Dave, 2 things. Number 1, you don't make the rules, okay? And then number two, even if you did make the rules, why would you want to stop our guests from talking and telling a story?
No, look, if he has a
Right.
total number of all the guests that's been in his home's lifetime, then sure, give us that number. But I seriously doubt it's going to be accurate. Go ahead, Jeff.
I can
We're
give,
listening.
I'm gonna for you guys, I'm gonna try to get a ballpark
All
and
right.
figure it out.
All
So
right, go ahead.
it's been 4 at this apartment. At my old apartment, my wife and I like to throw dinners, and we'd have on average 10 people, and we do 1 dinner a month. So that's 120
12 times 10.
So 120 people. And we
120.
maybe did it for a year and a half. So I'll say 180 plus 4, so 184. And then if you're thinking about my childhood home,
Which we were thinking about your childhood home a lot.
So I'd say we've had parties there which had served dinner. So I'd maybe say 60 there. So I'll say
240.
Yeah, say 240 sounds about
all right.
244. I mean, I guess if we're going to be
244.
Can we go with 245?
That's a pretty good number.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say no bell on that question. I was looking for 250 or above. All right. So, but 244 is pretty good. It's a good number.
250 and above, bro. That's what Victor was looking for. I'm sorry, Jeff.
All right. So,
and Dave, if you ever think that Victor should do the bell, I'd love for you to just make a bell noise.
I want to. He doesn't let me carry a bell. I wish I had a side bell, and I would give you a ring for that answer. That was a well thought out mathematical answer, and that's what we need more of on this show.
I appreciate that.
Now it is time for question
Or
number
you could
4.
just say ding.
You could just.
I'm not even allowed to say ding. It's been removed from my vocabulary somehow.
It's time for question number 4. But before we go into question number 4, I would like to just remind you that you don't actually have to answer any of these questions accurately or in any way if you don't want to. But it is the question question that I was curious about. And so we'll see what your answer is. Question number 4, who's the most famous person that's ever yelled at you?
I would say who's yelled at me. Action Bronson.
Action
awesome.
Bronson.
Action Bronson.
I don't even know who that is, but it seems
He's
to
a
get Dave
rapper from
excited.
Queens.
Yeah,
he's Albanian.
He's a rapper and he's a chef.
And he's a chef.
Yeah.
And Ghostface Killer wants to kill him because he sounds like him. It's a big
Wait, he's
fight.
a rapper and a chef, like professional in both areas.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Does he rap about chefery?
Yes. Nonstop talks about food. Nonstop.
Really?
Yeah. He's always talking about food in his raps. Cooking, eating, all that.
Like a Chibo Motto situation?
Well, I don't know that he knows what you're talking about, Tim. So I know who Chibo Mato is, but you didn't ask me. All right. Anyway, so Jeffrey, do you want to tell us any of the circumstances?
Yeah. So it was a video for Vanity Fair where we asked people to sort of go through their day from when they wake up through when they go to sleep, basically breaking down their routine. And so I was directing this video and I was asking him questions about his day. And I was just being me. And I don't know if he just didn't like my general personality. But I was asking him to repeat some things because I'm also trying to edit videos in my head when I direct. And so I think I asked him to repeat something and he was not happy that I asked him to re-say something he had already said. And he vocalized that. And later that day, we got the email from his PR person saying, Action did not mean those things that he said to you.
Ah. That's
You got it in writing. That's important.
Which I figured. I figured he was not truly angered, but it was still nice to get that confirmation.
Yeah, that's nice. All right. You know what? That gets a bell because it ended making my heart happy. It is time for question number 5. Question number 5. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years?
Yes.
I would like to make a short film in 5 years. I'm happily married, so I'll probably maybe have a kid in 5 years.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
And
I don't know about kids, but I sure like trying to make them, you know?
Yo, I don't know about short films
Huh?
about kids, but they sound funny.
I would like to make my own board game. Right now, I only have a fake parody board game that I've released, but
What's it called?
It's called Offensive Adult Party Game. And basically, if you've ever played cards, I hate Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah. I was just
I
gonna
can't
say
stand
that.
it. So
Is
what?
it based on that name? That's a cool name.
So it's unplayable. It's just there's one white card that says I like playing offensive adult party games because, and then there's 17 black cards that all say I lack creativity and enjoy the illusion of being funny.
Haha.
And
Wow.
so it's,
That's great. I tell you,
Okay.
one of the reasons I like you so much, Jeffrey, is you're one of the only people I know who just does weird things. like just does and makes weird things, because I do that all the time too.
I'm sure
Like
you know
the whole-
more people than
like-
Jeffrey that does weird
like the
things.
whole thing I was talking about, the instant album project, where people are just gonna get basically everybody gets 2 weeks to make a song in a certain genre, and then at the end everybody performs, and it's a real album release party that's made in 2 minutes or two. I've done that like 3 times already on my own before someone's actually gonna pay me for it, because I just like, this is a fun idea. And you're like one of the only people I know who also does that a lot. Like where it's just like not I mean, I know a lot of people who are creative and a lot of people who get things done and have projects, but just like weird just like weird projects. Like I just like one of my other projects is I made my own RPG game and I'm playing it with people, and it's called and Castles. And so like you're just like the only person I know who does stuff like that, where it's just as weird at least.
I'm good. Yeah, I pride
I adore
myself.
that about you.
I love doing things that I feel like no one else has ever done. Like that makes me excited. I'm like, I've never heard anything
Me
like
too.
this. Right?
Exactly.
You have a good beard line too. Wow, it's exceptional. How do you do that? It's like perfect.
I have, I'm gonna brag here. I have a heated razor that.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure I could get this with a real.
It's like
regular razor, but-
unbelievable. How do you do it?
I put a little shaving cream here and I just go like this.
All right, so I'm going to say no bell on that question simply because you took
you
time
got
to
robbed.
entertain Dave. And
got
as we
robbed.
all know, that's a problem.
Sorry.
Yeah. It is time for question number 6. Question number 6. What's the most fun you've ever had?
The most fun I've ever had. Let's see. I love the most fun. Whew, Vic, this is
Ever
a
that
tricky.
you've ever had. This counts for all last week and all last month.
This
and
question
the
was
year
actually
before.
this question was actually written by our producer, Rachel.
Wow,
She-
Rachel
she
has a
writes
pen.
question- She writes questions. I would say like 1 out of every like 9 she pitches gets in the show.
What?
And this is one of them.
I don't know how to write, but I know how to come up with ideas.
Even I've never been
I
allowed
feel
to
it.
write a question on this show.
That was the voice of Rachel, our producer.
So I'm trying. I have like exciting moments. I'm trying to encapsulate fun. I mean, my bachelor party was a weekend. Me locked in a cabin playing games for a weekend. That was fun. I mean, I feel like this is a lame answer. I don't even want to give myself the bell on this. Most fun.
So you played Halo 4 for your bachelor party? Is that what you're telling us?
We did mostly board. I do video games, but I prefer board games. So it was mostly board games.
Okay. I hear that bell not ringing right now.
Yeah,
Jeff.
no, I hear it not ringing either. This one's stumping me. Most fun.
Yeah. It's like it's a very plain.
Here we go.
Forward question.
This was
Climate change is your answer?
climbing a waterfall. Was in Costa Rica.
Oh,
That was
wow.
exhilarating. It was so rewarding when I got to the top.
Uh-huh.
I did it with 2 of my friends, and it was just unlike anything else I've ever done. And that was
Okay.
uncomparable to most other fun things I've done.
That was the most fun you've ever had.
I don't think so.
How do you climb a waterfall too? Do you climb the water? Like I don't.
You have like a
Is there a
rope,
step
a rope,
case?
a rope and harness. So you're climbing the rocks, and if you need to pull up, you have a rope you can go up also.
Well, I'm going to say
sounds
no
like
bell on
no
that
bell to
question.
me.
Yeah, no,
And I don't think
give me-
anybody's going to fight me on this for one
don't-
time.
Don't give me a bell.
Definitely don't give him a bell.
All right. So you answered all 6 questions, and it's just about time to decide whether or not you're going to get $5 for appearing on the show. But before we do that, can you tell people out there where they can find you?
Sure. My board game channel is my main thing. If you search The Dragon's Tomb on YouTube, you'll find all my videos. So go check them out.
They're awesome.
So dragon tooth,
Tomb, like where
tooth, like this one,
The Dragon's Tomb.
tooth.
Tomb.
T-O-M-B.
Oh, okay. Switch it up now so I can't find it. Make it complicated. Great. Thanks for nothing, Jeff.
All right. So it's time to decide whether or not you get $5, Jeff. But before, we're going to canvass the room as we always do. What do you think, Jennifer? Should Jeffrey get $5?
$350. Like I
350?
tried.
What?
$350.
I know
That's
this
not
is
an
give you
amount you can win
350
on
of
this
it.
show. We don't offer 350.
the amount
we
does
don't
not,
offer that amount.
do not give less money or more money based on
Yeah, it's not.
Okay,
You can't
let
just
it
like
slide.
denominate the
zero or
amount.
5.
What did you say?
Okay, no quantification. 0 or 5. That's the choice.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
what's your choice
Okay.
then,
Okay.
Jennifer?
Oh,
Yes or no?
oh, fine. Give him $5. What do I get? Go ahead.
All right. All right.
Wow, you
There
took so
go.
long to
gotta vote for
decide. It's
yes.
almost as if your decision actually matters in this case.
Meant
Yeah.
something.
In
I
this
know.
case,
I
It's
know.
almost
That
as
one
if
It means something to me,
It's
Victor.
almost
It
as
means
if-
something to me.
Tim, what do you think? Should Jeffrey get $5?
I'd be willing to toss him $5 if there's ever a print version of that party game.
All right. Okay.
You would buy it, Tim?
Yeah.
I think there is a print version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have-
Okay.
What is it called again?
Can I get that off of Dragon's Tomb?
Yeah.
get
Offensive
me
adult
there.
party game. Offensive
my
adult party
Offensive
game.
adult party
That's
game.
just fantastic. See?
That does sound pretty cool.
Wonderful. So Dave,
Dave.
what do you think? Should Jeffrey get $5?
I was gonna say no until we just talked about offensive adult party game again, and now I'm obsessed, and I need to get a copy for myself. So yes, I'm gonna vote yes for Jeff, which I don't want to, and it hurts inside, but I'm gonna vote yes.
You're gonna vote yes for Jeff. All right. So Rachel, what do you think? Should Jeffrey get $5?
Well, I really liked hearing about an angry Big Bird actor.
Mhm.
And I think that alone is worth $5 because it made me laugh.
Very sincere, Rachel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel.
Thank
for
you so
your
much.
You're
honesty.
welcome.
Your honesty is just what carries us. on
All
this
right.
show.
So we've heard from the room. What do you think, Jeffrey? Should you get $5?
I think I should. I think I had interesting stories, except for the 6th question, but that was a tough question.
I feel like you're pretty honest, so I'm going to give you that $5. All right, Jeffrey.
Whoa!
Congratulations. You win $5 for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're a great contestant. So let's just wrap this show up. Dave, what did you learn from this week's show?
I learned that on Sesame Street, Big Bird is not what you guys think, which is very deceptive, and it hurts because as a little child, I enjoyed that show. And now that I know what's really going on with the puppets,
Right.
I'm discerned, if I may use that word.
Discerned?
Yes, discerned.
Discerning.
You can find us at Six Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com. Thanks so much.
Wait, I thought it was .gov.